It's cold and damp in here. The smell of death has filled the tight space quick. I wiggle around trying to get comfortable in the small room full of bodies. Dead bodies. Bodies of innocent people I have killed. I would rather be in jail than left here to rot with the rest of these people. If I make any noise, though, Renee will find out my secret. I sat in silence and thought to myself, how did I end up here? Here to die. I sprung up from my bed and looked at the clock. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess it's a good time. I crawled to the small attic in the far corner and opened it silently and slowly. I stood up after looking inside and walked out to my car. I popped the trunk and took the body out of the bag. Taking it back upstairs to the crawl space, I stuffed it into the small space as deep as I could and snuck back to my bed to fall asleep again. The next day was normal, except for Miss Popular, Brittany, ruining it. "You're next," I muttered to her as we passed in the hall. She was next. After school, I took her to the same spot as the day before, and I killed her. Her last words were, "Karma is unstoppable." Like the first night, I stuffed her in the crawl space with the other girl. This happened for the whole week. I would find a girl that was beautiful and take her to that spot. I killed at least 10 girls. "You're not getting away with this."
"You're next. You'll pay for your sins."
Their last words play in my head over and over again, like a record. I can hear the dreaded song in the background of their voices. I clutch my head and try not to scream over their cries of pain. I can't take it. I push bodies around and try to make a way out, but I can't. It's too cramped. That last night, I think to myself. The gruesome images of my last victim flashed before my eyes. That night, I woke up at 3 as usual, but it didn't feel right. When I walked out to my car and opened the trunk, her face was the horrible picture of the way her face was formed. She had a grin on her face, a wide grin. Her eye didn't close. She was staring at me, smiling, like she knew this would happen. When I took her upstairs and stuffed her in the attic, I crawled in myself to move her to the back, and I looked back at the door. It shut quickly, too quickly for me to get out. I was trapped. I sat here this whole time. I tried to open the door plenty of times, but it wouldn't budge. I looked at the bodies around me and studied the wounds, the cuts, the scars. I left on each one. I touched each one and cried. I can't get away, and God has me in his control. No, not God. The devil has me. He controls my fate now. I mumble and look behind me to see my last victim. Her bright blue eyes staring at me. She tilts her head. It was not human. It was demonic, mechanical. She slowly opens her mouth into a grin as her teeth glisten with a small bit of light in the room. Her teeth were razor sharp, like a shark. She slowly crawls over to me and grabs my neck, wrapping her pale hands around it and cutting off my air. I try to scream, but no sound would come out. I think she will kill me right then. But she releases her grip and stares at me. She opens her mouth wide and bites a chunk out of my neck, and slashes open my chest. I fall back and stare at her over me. "I'm sorry," I speak, using the last bit of air I have left. She disappears and leaves me there, my blood flowing out of my body like a river, covering the small space and everything in it. My eyelids feel heavy and begin to shut. "I'm sorry," I whisper once more as my heart stops and brain shuts down. All the blood leaves my body as I become one of the girls I have killed. I become a pale corpse to rot and decay along with the rest. It's over. It's finally over.